Hey there and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here. If you're new, make sure you subscribe before you leave, and if you're a returning subscriber, hit that little bell down below for notifications on when I put up new videos. I upload twice a week. Okay guys, this is my very first video of 2021, and I don't know about you guys, but my 2021 was very low-key. I did manage to stay up until 12 and I just kind of screamed Happy New Year with everyone else off of my balcony, so it was a pretty like low-key year. But I think with everything we've learned from 2020, that was the perfect way to ring in the new year. I mean, the only way we really could. I hope most of us were at home. It's sort of become this tradition for me to do, New Year's resolutions, and I kind of had a lot of thoughts about whether or not I really should do that this year, because 2020 brought us a lot of curveballs, and it just kind of made me and maybe a lot of other people rethink what New Year's resolutions look like and should look like. And although I don't have like an exact list in my head of things that I want to do, I do know that there are certain things that I want to either continue with the new year, or I want to try to start doing for myself. So without further ado, why don't we grab a snack? Maybe you guys can get your notebooks out or something, and let's get started. New Year's resolution for 2021. That's gonna take a while to remember to say. I keep saying 2020. New Year's resolution number 1 is to continue to cook for myself, which I know is like, kind of a silly little one, but I'm pretty sure I did this last year. It was one of my resolutions last year. I didn't really get good at it until probably like 2 months ago, but it's one of those little things that has helped me in so many different ways. A, feel better physically, because I'm not eating like takeout all the time or going to restaurants, and it's not to say that I would always eat shit food, but it's easy and cheaper to buy shittier food. And also just like the personal confidence that I have developed just like cooking for myself and maintaining that habit. All I know is that it's been making me feel really good about myself, both physically and emotionally, and it's something that I want to continue doing. And I also want to do more like cooking that I haven't done before. So resolution number 2, and one that I think is the most important for me going into this new year, to continue to stay committed to this self-growth journey that I'm on. And I know if you've been watching this channel for a while and you know who I am, and maybe for some weird reason you're finding me through this video, but I know that I've been very much focused on confidence and self-love and that sort of journey. I have sort of been thrusted into this self-awareness, self-acceptance journey that has been really, really phenomenal. It has been super eye-opening. I have learned more about myself in these last couple months than I have probably my entire life, and that comes from somebody who's an exceptionally self-aware person, and to just kind of grow into that next stage of my life, because I feel like, and this is kind of getting off topic a little bit, I feel like 2020 for so many of us was just a year of loss. There's tremendous loss that we've experienced on like a global scale, but also like on really personal scales. I know for everyone it's different, but I'm just saying for me, what 2020 was about was a year of loss, and accepting what loss can bring me, and accepting that loss, again, on a personal scale. I'm not talking about like COVID related deaths, and I just kind of want to make that disclaimer, but what those losses can actually bring to me, and what those losses are able to sort of make me realize after the fact. Like, there's so much more that I need to learn about myself, and that's a little scary that it's been in this blind spot for me for 33 years, but like, what does it mean now that I know these things, and now that I can't sort of like pretend I don't know certain things about myself, or know that I operate in certain ways. But that's a video for another time, and maybe if you guys want to hear about that, I will definitely do so. So another little resolution that I have, and I feel like I said this last year too, but I was so good about stretching and doing like some light working out before bed. But like, as with life, you kind of get distracted by things and you don't really do those same routines anymore. So unfortunately I fell out of that for myself, and there's just so many little things that I can do around my house, like even if it's like doing squats before bed or doing stretches before bed, which I did last night, it helps so much. And I found that I slept so much better last night too. Like I was out like a light. I want to do more, and I'm gonna treat it much like the cooking thing. Hopefully I can do that one, because I just know it makes me feel so much better, like so much better physically, mentally, emotionally, all that stuff. Resolution number 4. Don't get distracted. And I'm not talking like I have work to do and I'm gonna like watch another podcast or something. I'm talking like I have come so far in my life. I am at this place in my life now where I can really be proud of a lot of the things that I've done for myself. I don't want to get distracted by these obstacles that kind of present themselves to me, and I get very distracted with this shiny new thing in my life, and suddenly I am not focusing on the things I need to focus on. It's about that balance that I tend to lose when I find new things in my life that are just like really exciting, and that's a me thing. That's nobody else's fault but my own, and I need to be, I want to be more aware of the fact that I'm doing that when it's happening. So I really, really, really want to like focus on not getting distracted, and finding that balance between like maybe having that new thing and still staying committed to the thing that I already have. That's a big one for me. So this is a resolution, and it's also one of those things that I'm still not sure how it's going to play out, but I'd really like to move in 2021. I'm definitely very happy and content with this space and like what it's offered me, but there's still a lot of things about it that don't work for me, and we are in a very unique time right now. We all know what we're going through, but it has also changed the rental market in pretty much every area you go to. Toronto is so much cheaper than it's ever been. So I feel like eventually I would like to move when things are a little bit more settled. But I really think that I'd like to move and maybe go to a bigger place and maybe go somewhere that's a little bit more central in Toronto versus being a little bit more on the outside of Toronto. That's a big one for me. I really, really want to do that, but it's not the most important thing in the world. Is just kind of one of those resolutions that I want to work towards. Okay, so resolution number 5 at this point, who knows? But I want to get more creative with my makeup, and that's kind of why I did my makeup the way I did today. Even though I'm using oranges and stuff, like go figure, it's kind of my favorite when it comes to makeup. But I want to do more things creatively with my makeup that I've never done before. I just think it's like kind of one of those fun things. It's kind of allowing me to be a little bit more skilled at something I've been doing for a while. But evidently it's not as hard as I thought it would be, and it could only improve my skills and my abilities a little bit more. All right, so resolution number 6, and I feel like I've said this many, many times before, but there's been so many different things that have happened that have created this sort of block with me getting this resolution in order, but I still really want to get a part-time job. Attached to that as well is I want to be more involved in a community sense. One thing I've realized about myself in sort of this like journey that I'm on is one of the reasons why I can feel the way that I feel sometimes about maybe being connected to certain things, or maybe not even being totally fulfilled with my current career, is that I love what I do, but I don't love that it's all about me. I've never been that person where it's all about me, even though I'm a Leo and it's very stereotypical to say that it's all about us. I would really love to do something that is bigger than me, that means more than just me. I'd love to get a part-time job somewhere. I'd love to get involved in community in some way, maybe volunteering. I know that there's limited opportunities now based off of what we're going through. I'm really focused on kind of creating that goal for myself and getting there and sort of seeing what that looks like for me and what that feels like for me. Another resolution of mine, and I think this is one of my last 2 because I'm not gonna like overwhelm myself too much, and this is a big one for me, but I want to get more comfortable with being alone. Alone and lonely are 2 entirely different things. There are a lot of people in this world who have no problem spending time on their own. I am not one of those people, unfortunately. It's a huge issue for me, and something that I have sort of battled with a lot in my life, but I really want to get more comfortable with spending time alone, on my own, and getting back into that routine of doing things on my own. I love sort of creating little rituals for myself, but I still have so much work to be done in terms of reframing how I view being alone. Because from that, I think that like regardless of all these things that I'm trying to bring into my life, if I don't work on that one area in my life, I don't think I'm going to see the progress and the growth that maybe I'd like to see. So that's should be like top tier, but that's a big one for me. All right, and my last resolution is just to like keep painting. Again, I feel like they're all kind of connected in some way. I just want to get more in touch with my creative side. I have been a creative person my whole life. I've had people tell me really negative things about me because I am such a creative person. But as it turns out, that just makes me so happy. When I'm painting, when I'm even redecorating my apartment, which I think is a creative thing as well. It's about creatively kind of coming up with a space. When I'm doing anything like that, it makes me so happy, like unbelievably happy. And I don't want to suppress that part of me anymore, or, you know, just kind of like leave it unnurtured. I really just want to figure out what it means for me to be somebody who is like creative like 50% of the week versus somebody who's creative like 20% of the year. You know what I mean? Anyways, those are my New Year's resolutions. A lot of them I just kind of came up with right now. And I'm gonna like leave you guys with this because New Year's resolutions can mean a lot of different things. And I think that we see a lot of people equate New Year's resolutions to maybe like weight loss and stuff like that. I want us to reframe what these resolutions look like. I think that they can mean and be so many different things, but I think that focusing only on like weight loss and gain for like our sense of self-worth is like such a missed opportunity. There's so many amazing different areas in our life that we can focus on and amazing things that we can bring to ourselves, that focusing on weight loss, which like can really get you into this sort of like negative cycle. And a lot of us gained weight in 2020 quarantine, so it's totally okay to be where you're at. And I would definitely suggest looking at other areas of your life that you want to improve or change or bring new exciting things into, and that's all the fun of it. Resolutions are a completely blank slate, and regardless of what you guys decide to do with this year, I'd also just like implore you to kind of like think about resolutions more from like a smaller perspective and things that we can control within like our own four walls, because again, if 2020 showed us anything, there are so many things that we can't control in life that if I can do something small for myself, makes me feel like I'm getting those things out of life that really mean something to me. I will see you guys next time though. Make sure you let me know some of your resolutions in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys are sort of trying to focus on this year, and where you feel you even made progress in the last year of your life as well, because it's always important to look back and like, you know, give yourself a little pat on the back for everything that you've gone through and everything that you've been able to accomplish. I will see you guys next time though, so don't forget you can find new videos from me every Wednesday and every Sunday, and new blog posts every Tuesday and every Thursday, and I'll see you next time. I see no reason why I should ever let you go. Don't wanna wake up if I'm dreaming, because you know I can't get